All right, let's see what we've got. This is our stage. This is what we're building from, our assets. So I'm zooming in. He's completely revealed. Now we just really want to change the landscape. So at this point, I'm pretty confident of everything we have. If I want to run an animation test, I can. I just say window, timeline, make frames. Whoops. I don't know what that is doing. Oh, it's putting it in here. So I like to sweep it to the bottom so it runs underneath. Make frames from layers. Get rid of that first layer, right? Scroll to the very end, hold down shift so they're all selected, set it at a default timing, which can be adjusted later, just 0.3 seconds, run it through forever, and then just play it. The sky is moving, characters moving well, shuffling up. The ice melts pretty quickly as the sun comes out, but it is a GIF animation. The zoom is working, but now I can be really, really pretty aggressive about how I melt the rest of that ice. And I'm pretty good with my zoom. So before I add more layers, I'm going to drag down all of those frames into the trash. Go to my top frame, have it showing. Now I'm back to here. I'm going to take the mist, I'm going to change it to maybe a lighten mode. And I think 50 is about as extreme as I want to make it. Okay, now, even let's try soft light maybe. Nope, not pin light. All right, so let's do lighten, but not so strong. So I think that's about as far as I can push it. Okay, let's do the sun. Make its effect even more opaque. That's about as much as I can push that. What I could do, though, is make a duplicate of it, of the sun now, and push that up above everything. Maybe everything except the character and the glacier, like that. And then really take its opacity down. So now as I increase the sun, let's move it higher into the sky. That's the file that I will be working with more and more. This one. So it'll be almost like a crossfade. In fact, that almost just makes everything look like it melts, just that action alone. So that will be a useful layer. I might label that okay. So now I need to really take that glacier out and start playing with all the stuff below it and around it. So I think I can really just go down to there and then start erasing subtly from here. Is that going to be too much? Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, not so fast. Let's do it that way. Okay, I'm going to move my character's head a little bit. And shuffle his body a little bit. And I'm going to delete this little part of his torso that's blue. Okay. And start erasing away a little bit at this. Okay, so now here's the big change. Now, this is kind of crazy, but it makes sense for this point. I'm going to save it here just in case things go terribly wrong. Now I know until the end I'm going to be zoomed in quite a bit. So instead of just zooming in the frame, I'm going to zoom in all of my assets. So I'm going to select them all, even ones that are turned off. And then I hit transform. And then I'm going to grow it quite large. And kind of center it where I want. Hit return. And kind of position it in a way that kind of will work for my animation idea. Mainly have my character be in the center near the bottom, like it is here. And look, I can even grow it more. So I'm growing every layer. So it takes a little while to transform that, because that's my last stage frame. Now the character's just a little bit bigger. See that? Zooming in even more. And maybe that's a little too much, so I'll back it up a bit. Command T, everything's highlighted. Hold down Option and Shift. Move it over a little bit. Okay. So this is my next frame. I could probably push that sun a little bit more. So where's my new sun layer? Right there. It's only at 3%. Let's push it up to about 10 more percentage points. From there to there. Okay, good. Did the head move? Should have. I set it to. It's hard to tell because of the zoom, but let's move the head a little bit more. It's all about what's visible. And I have so many asset layers now, it can be tricky to keep track of them. Yeah, so that's a nice zoom and change. Okay, now I'm at the very top. Option, layer merge visible. Now I just select all, and because I already grew everything, just copy and paste over. And the zoom's already there. This is the first zoom that's locked in. I can play with the zoom on the ones behind this that kind of got to this level. Now, first thing I'm going to do is select, or I'll deselect this layer, delete it, select everything again, and zoom some more. So this is another way you can do zooms, but only because I'm close to my final zoom. And I want to start erasing these more significantly. Okay, so I think that's about as much as I want to zoom in. To show the plight of my creature. place more and more of this ice. As the sun heats up more and more, it's brighter and brighter. Yeah, and starts to kind of affect the color of things. I like that. It's all about playing. You gotta see what you enjoy. Soften these edges. Use what you know about compositing. So it goes from this now to this, and let me just change my character's position. So now he's going to start to rear up his head for the last time before he starts to sink. And his whole body, I can start to rotate a little bit in anticipation of this. Kind of shuffle it up like he's trying to get out of it. And then he'll start sinking down, slipping into the deep abyss. Layer, merge visible, holding down Option, select all, copy, paste. So I'm making big, bold changes now. I'm zoomed in enough. So before our class ends, let's test our frames. Let's save this now. And I'm set to now just do the final 2 frames, basically. But let's make sure the animation's working. So I say flatten frames into layers. I get rid of, come on. Oh no, not flatten frames, sorry, make frames from layers. Then I get rid of the first one. I set it all at 0.3 seconds. And I play it through forever and see how that fits the goals of my storyboard. So the zoom works now. I just gotta quickly dissolve everything else. And then we'll be good. And that's actually a pretty good place to be for next class, having most of your animation kind of understood and you know the parameters. So make sure you save your files. Remember, all the assets are in the asset file. Because I'm making a change here where I zoomed everything in, I'm going to save as, and I'm going to call this assets 2. But it should be safe. Okay. And that's where we'll pick it up next time.